This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 8th of May in the year 2018. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Former Minister of Finance under the PPP Civic Government, Dr. Ashni Singh, and former head of NISIL, Winston Brassington, both flew into the country overnight and made appearances in court this afternoon to answer charges of misconduct in public office. The two former government officials were granted bail in the sum of $6 million each. Several officials of the former PPP Civic Government, including former President Donald Ramotar and former President Samuel Hines, were in court today for the hearing. In court, the two men were told that they were not required to enter a plea to the three indictable charges. One of the three charges, read by Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan, alleges that in December of 2008, the two sold a plot of land which was evaluated and worth $340 million for $150 million. The other two charges allege that Singh and Brassington also sold plots of land for $185 million and $598 million without any evaluation, and those pieces were sold to the Giftland Mall and National Hardware Limited. Former Attorney General Anil Nandlal entered an appearance for the two gentlemen. He was joined by 7 other high-profile attorneys, including former Minister Priya Manichan, Ronald Burt Smith, Stanley Moore, Sace Gunraj, and Mark Waldron.
There was absolutely no reason for Minister of Government, former Minister of Government, and a former top public officer who have both served their country with distinction and discharged their functions of their office with distinction to be treated in this dehumanizing and degrading manner. This was done to humiliate and embarrass them. But this world is a revolving world. Today is someone's day, tomorrow it will not be the same.
In court, Nandlal initially asked the court to release the 45-year-old Ashni Singh and 50-year-old Winston Brassington on their own recognizance. But the prosecutor objected and asked the court for bail to be set at a substantial sum. Singh and Brassington were granted bail in the sum of $2 million each under 3 charges. But Nandlal again protested and told the court that the amount was beyond his client's reach, and he asked for a reduction to $1 million. That application was denied. Nandlal also pointed out that once found guilty, the two former officials could spend a maximum of 1 year in prison. The attorney told the court that the charges appear more like political victimization. After the hearing, Singh and Brassington were handcuffed and taken to the prisoners' holding area. They posted bail less than 1 hour after.
So these transactions are no sudden discovery. They were publicly disclosed by our government, as indeed were all of our other privatization transactions. I hasten to add, unlike those of our predecessors in office and now our successors in office, our privatization transactions were subject to full transparency and scrutiny.
Let's tell you now that the former president of Guyana, Donald Ramotar, has described as political vindictiveness the charges filed against his former Minister of Finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, and the former head of NISIL, Winston Brassington.
We believe, and strongly so, with strong grounds, that these are frivolous charges. That is why the matter is in the High Court right now to dismiss these charges. If the DPP could have dismissed the charge against the ministers, which we think are far more serious than they have done actually nothing, because they have been working with a board in the case of Brassington and with the cabinet in the case of Ashni Singh. So they have committed no crime, and this is what we're seeing happening here today.
The former president and several other officials of the former PPP Civic Government were at court today for the hearing. Mr. Ramotar told journalists that the current government needs to understand that they cannot run a country by vindictiveness. The coalition government has said the Special Organized Crime Unit, which filed the charges, has been working on its own with no political interference, and its investigations are based on forensic audits that have taken place at various government agencies and departments. Still, Ramotar said the charges are frivolous, and that is the reason behind the decision by the attorneys of the former two government officials to move to the High Court to seek a full dismissal of all charges. He said Singh and Brassington have done nothing wrong since they were working under the former cabinet and board of NISIL. In Grenada, a 70-year-old Guyanese man was today remanded to jail in the island after he made his first appearance in court for trafficking of cocaine. A Guyanese national, Hanif Bacchus of Georgetown, a retired construction worker, appeared at the St. George's Magistrates Court in Grenada today after a quantity of cocaine was found in his wheelchair at the Maurice Bishop International Airport last Saturday. According to reports out of Grenada, the elderly man who claimed he's wheelchair-bound was vacationing all by himself for 2 weeks on the island and was nabbed by police after a search of his motorized wheelchair revealed the drugs hidden under the seat. At the time of the discovery, he was awaiting the boarding of a flight to Toronto, while vacationing in Grenada, Bacchus stayed at an apartment in the south of the island. He's being represented by attorney Derek Sylvester and will return to court on the 18th of May. And finally this evening, the governments of Guyana and Suriname intend to work closer together and share more information that would see better monitoring of the waterways and guarantee better security arrangements for the fishing industry. This follows talks between Guyana's Minister of Public Security and Suriname's Minister of Justice. Minister Ramotar wrapped up a visit with the high-level security team to Suriname last evening. That visit and the discussions came in wake of the deadly pirate attack in Suriname that left 15 Guyanese fishermen dead. Several of the bodies are still to be recovered. It was revealed by the Surinamese authorities yesterday that 30 suspects are currently in custody for the crime in Suriname. 3 others are in custody in Guyana. Among those in custody are the prime suspects and those believed to have been the masterminds of the attacks. Most of the fishermen who were attacked and the pirates who attacked them lived and worked in Suriname and were licensed to conduct fishing there. The Surinamese authorities have been tight-lipped about the probe, but it has been revealed that the suspects have been totally shut out of the outside world and are not being allowed any visits, including from lawyers. That could continue for another week. The governments of Guyana and Suriname are also committing to offer assistance to the families of the dead fishermen. At least 5 fishermen survived the attacks, and they have been providing critical information to the police as part of the probe. Guyana and Suriname have also been sharing intelligence and information on the issue. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.